Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has been out for a little over a week now, and in that time, it has managed to do two things. One, reaffirm the community's disliking of skill-based matchmaking, and two, prove that Call of Duty games get old without a large amount of content at or around launch. I've definitely touched on the skill-based matchmaking side of things quite a bit on my channel, and considering people have been complaining about it for over a year since it was put into Modern Warfare, I wanted to talk about the latter. Why does Black Ops Cold War have no maps? Now, to answer that question, we have to look at a couple of factors. Before we get into that, I want to ask you that if you do enjoy the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War content and other tech and gaming videos, and hitting that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. Now, Black Ops Cold War launched with only 8 multiplayer maps, the same number that Modern Warfare launched with a year prior, if you remove the 10v10 maps and just stick to the regular 6v6 maps. What Modern Warfare had, however, was Ground War, which had exclusive maps just for that mode, even if it was all taken from the Warzone map that came a lot later. Modern Warfare had 3 of these Ground War maps, 4 if you include the post-launch inclusion of Anya Palace. These maps were exclusive to Ground War, but still brought more variety to the multiplayer experience. If you got tired of playing regular 6v6 because the launch maps were very then you can go play Ground War, which supposedly never had skill-based matchmaking to begin with. Or maybe you got tired of that. Well, in that case, you can play my personal favorite game mode in Modern Warfare, Gunfight, which had 7 exclusive maps at launch. Gunfight basically could be its own game if you really think about it. You may be thinking, why are you talking about Modern Warfare if this was about Black Ops Cold War? I want to talk about how while Black Ops Cold War had the same number of 6v6 maps as Modern Warfare had a variety in its game modes and playlists. And each playlist had its own exclusive maps and feel to the game. Black Ops Cold War is lacking that. Sure, the game has combined arms, but both Crossroads and Armada have 6v6 maps. You can look at it that way, where combined arms maps are just 6v6 maps but bigger, or think of that 6v6 only has 6 exclusive maps. And actually, it's 5 since Cartel is also a combined arms map. And before you go into the comments saying, what about Fireteam Dirty Bomb? That has 2 exclusive maps just for that game mode. Sure, yes, Fireteam Dirty Bomb does have 2 exclusive maps, but the game mode feels just off. It honestly just feels like playing Warzone Plunder that, in my opinion, it should have been left out entirely. I don't consider it an alternative to regular multiplayer, but rather an alternative to Warzone. On a side note, is it just me or do all the animations in Dirty Bomb just look and sound like knockoff Warzone, rather than a continuation to it made by a AAA studio? Take a look and a listen.
Eliminate all threats.
Deploying in your AO. Hostile forces deploying on your location.
So all this begs the question, why does Black Ops Cold War have basically no maps? It's not like there's no material to create maps from. Take this mission from the campaign. And before I go any further, there will be spoilers for the Black Ops Cold War campaign, so if you want to save yourself from spoilers, please skip to this time. In the mission Red Light Green Light, you and Woods are tasked with infiltrating a Soviet base to gain intel on Perseus. After you enter the base, you discover a larger Soviet trading course that Woods dubs Anytown, USA. He later calls it Fake Town. While this is a really cool set piece for the campaign, why is this not a multiplayer map? Look, for something like Domination, you can have one flag back here on the backside of Burger Town, open up the building for spawns. You could put B flags somewhere in this long stretch of roads, or even right next to the theater, somewhere in this area. And then the other flagging in the video store. While it's in its current state is not the most balanced map, the groundwork is there to build a really solid map. And honestly, any map is better than being constantly sniped on satellite in Miami. There's also the KGB mission, where you're inside the KGB headquarters to track down the names of the sleeper agents. Something cool could be done there. Or even Yamantau, where the OG Summit map is based. Why couldn't they launch the game with a reimagined Summit with different paths, maybe switch up the middle building, considering everything in the campaign is destroyed at this point? How about the last couple missions, where you track down Perseus not only in Cuba, but also Russia? There's so much in the campaign in terms of map material that just isn't utilized in the multiplayer. I suppose they didn't want to bring back Summit as a launch map, since Black Ops 4 might as well have been all remasters of old maps, but a reimagined Summit that plays similar, but different from the original, probably wouldn't have been that big of an issue. I mean, I would have taken that over Garrison, which actually might be a remake of a Modern Warfare map that we got right at the end of the game's life cycle. Hopefully with the introduction of the 5th Nuketown remake, it helps break up some of the monotony of the less than ideal maps that Cold War has to offer. But we could still sit and think, why is this game launched with no maps? Even in the less than perfect conditions of this year, the fact that Treyarch had to take over this game's production halfway through, there is obvious map material that was not utilized. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're new here, and want to see more videos just like this one, and hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. I'm Icy Ice Cube, and I am out.